Alright, so, my name's a little unimportant at the moment, but this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. So click on the subscribe button below and press the bell notification right next to it for the latest uploads. Now, what is worthwhile for an entrepreneur to learn in life? I want to say everything, because it's an interesting little kind of like two ways around it, right? I say be curious about everything to learn, like be a jack of all trades, a master of one. Learn a little bit about everything. Stuff like conversational understanding and everything, right? Business, finance, books, fiction, sport, cars, clothes and fashion, and I don't know, what else is there? Water, Coca-Cola, the chemicals, gold. What's the? I asked someone recently, I was at this business thing, what's the melting point of gold? And he's like a gold metals broker. He doesn't know, and it's like, well, is that? So yeah, a little bit of that. Gemology, GIA, the Geological Geological Association. Geological something of America, that's worthwhile knowing. And archons, how they know where to dig for gold. There's a little bit of archons on the surface of the ground, and there's different diamond deposits, diamond deposits in the world, and it's like, So, if you're curious about loads of things, jack of all trades, master of one, you're going out and discovering these different places and going to these different meetups. Like a few days ago, I was at this one about this musings of a black midwife. I'm sure I scheduled for a different event, but for some reason that was the one, I don't quite know, schedule mishap. So learning loads of stuff and being curious, but at the same time they're really focusing and disciplining your time, energy and momentum on only really looking at the things that matter to you, are not arguably pissing about learning loads and loads of ridiculous things. Because I used to be on this end, really curious, and now it's like, okay, let's be a bit more disciplined now, a bit more focused on the things that only really matter, the things that are only really important. Because then, those are things that really matter in business and in life. And the way that this world works is capitalism, is internet, is psychology, is marketing, is money. If this was 1817, Britain, completely different priorities. If this was 1617, Britain, completely different priorities. If this was 1017 Britain, 1,000 years ago, completely different priorities. The way that this world works is, I think, it's worthwhile knowing as much as you can about the important stuff. Well, actually being curious about how the world works, like economics. If I talk about money velocity or fractional reserve lending, what does that mean? If I talk about price elasticity, if I talk about inflation or deflation or shrinkflation, or stagflation, what does that mean? Does that mean anything to you? You might need to know that, because one day it might be worthwhile or important. You know, when people talk about interest rates, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for me? Ooh, you might be able to tell me then. You might be able to figure it out for yourself. But then also, mastering something. That if you're the jack of all trades, what are you going to be master of one? Master of one what? Economics, business, finance, clothing. How to make shirts, how to make shoes, how to make candles, how to make wine, how to make vinegar, how to make wood, woodworks, gemologist, where to dig for diamonds. You know, you tell me. Mining, to do with gold, or silver, or copper, iron. You tell me. Or how to bind books, or printing press, or how to make ball bearings, waste management, things like that. You know, what's your one speciality in life, and go deep. It's like you can either go 3 inches deep, but like 3 miles wide in life, which is, I know a little bit about everything, and I'm jack of all trades, master of none, or that 3 miles wide, but one specific point, one specific part is 3 miles deep, and I think that's very balanced, because I know a little bit about everything, but you talk about the one thing that matters to me, or the one specific topic. You know, in the small talk, or we happen to be talking about it, and it's like, boom, what do you want to know? Oh yeah, it's like this or that, archons and diamonds. Okay, cool. But you want to know? Well, let's talk business. Cool, let's get started. What are we waiting for? You know? So in life you want to learn as much as you can. And never stop learning. Never stop changing. Never stop growing as well. Always want to be better. You want to learn everything that matters in this world. Finance, economics, forex, how that all works, non-farm payroll. Let me think for a split second. Share agreement, shareholders, A stock, preferred stock, common stock, how money works, how money's made, not just like physically made, like paper or metal or nickel or iron or whatever, but also how it's made like in the banking system, what's called bank and state money. Because as I said earlier, if this was 1817, capital or money wouldn't really be a priority. And maybe 200 years from now, 200 years from now, I can't imagine that, but well, maybe if I think about it, but 200 years from now, it would be completely different priorities. Completely different. The internet would be like this caveman toy that was like old and primitive and obsolete, and it's like, what will be after that, you know? What will be next? Well, maybe you think. But yeah, so yeah, that's what we want, the different priorities of the time we live in, the things that are out of our control. And it's like, you see these statistics, as a side note as well, you see these statistics where people say something like 50% of the shares, or the securities, assets, financial assets and products, instruments, in America are owned by something like 20% or 10% of the population. And it's like, that contributes to wealth disparity. Well, that's indication of that's indication of attitude and priorities. You know, they understand where the money is coming from and how to make money in this day and age. Maybe 500 years ago, if you were a peasant living in the feudal system, living on the land, your priorities would be tending to the land, having more children. Why is this cut on my leg not healing? Gathering food for the winter. Why is the Lord going to war again? Things like that. Hope this cut here doesn't kill me. That kind of stuff. But we've moved on. Electricity, refrigeration, other conveniences and luxuries of this day and age, and now our priorities have moved on. And now it's like, well, now let's look at the bigger picture, for example. You know, rather than small localized, like the peasants and the land, now it's like, how does I can go across the world 24 hours, so what does that mean for me? What does that mean for my health, for the wealth, opportunity, livelihood, everything else like that, you know? It's all interconnected. And it's like, what's priorities of today, or for a modern day economy, that is what you want to focus your time and energy on. You know, centralised government or decentralised government, the way things work, the way psychology works, you know, the way people work, for example. The things that matter today in this day and age are the things you want to learn about. And be knowing a little bit about everything, but at the same time master of one. But at the same time though, you don't want to be too curious and losing too much time pissing about here and there when you want to focus. And the way I see it now is, if this event or this topic or this person or doing this thing is not a hell yeah, like, oh, there's this thing going off on Friday, for example, or there's this talk, or there's this lecture open to the public, general public, this lecture on such and such. If it's not a hell yeah, I'm going to do that, yeah. If it ain't hell yeah, if it's like, yeah, I could do that, oh, yeah, I'll do that, yeah, sure, or it's like, yeah, alright, okay, cool. If it's not a hell yeah, then it's automatically the equivalent of a no. Unless my response to something is a way of prioritising my time and focusing and being disciplined. If it's like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to that event, hell yeah, we'll go to it. If it's like, yeah, okay, then don't go to it. That way you can be curious, but at the same time you're disciplined and focused, which is something I picked up very recently. And I'm applying it quite profusely. So that's what we want to learn about. Things that are important today. And by knowing these things on a basic conversational level, you can be in society, you can be in business, in society, in a network event, or in a pub, or wherever, and you're quite competent. You know your stuff. You're not messing about. You know, oh, I'm gonna sneeze. You're not pissing around, losing opportunity. That's all right. No time for sneezing. So you want to learn a little bit about everything, so you can talk to people and be competent, but then at the same time be curious. So my question to you today is, what are you currently learning about? What are you currently learning about? My answer to that is finance, actually, weirdly enough, as I've mentioned a few times. The past few days or weeks or month and a half or so, I've been learning a lot about finance. I used to know a lot anyway. It's like a rehashing and then building upon it big time. There's an excellent website I've been using a lot called Investopedia, where it's like I'll take this key phrase, this keyword, or this sentence, for example, this concept, and I'll look it up on Investopedia, and it's like, what does that mean? And it's like, oh, it explains this, or it means this, or it means that. And it's like, oh, like for example, a really good one I've learned recently is called the cash conversion cycle, and it talks about how quick can a company hold some stock and then sell it so as to redeploy that money elsewhere in the business. What that stems from the idea of just in time, which is to do with manufacturing or lean agile, where we're not holding up our capital or money in this stock or inventory for too long, because we know that, or minimizing how long we can hold it in there, because we can then take that, we can have that money be deployed somewhere else, and it's not being held in stock. So interesting concept there. So finance and Investopedia is an awesome, really cool site. So my question today to you is, what are you learning about? What are you learning about? Comment below, I'm very curious. And remember that this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. So click on the subscribe button below and press the bell notification right next to it for the latest uploads. How cool is that?